All right, welcome to another episode of the program. I'm Neil Willis, and today we're going to talk about going on the demo drive. I know it says Yugo, but we're not talking about that little Eastern European car that we used to give away free with a Cadillac back in the 80s. No, we're talking about you go on the demo. Actually going on the demo drive. Now, it's fundamental. Most sales processes that you look at are going to say, oh yeah, you go on the demo drive with your customer. We always do this. But there's a difference between what we say we do and what we really do sometimes in the sales business. And let me just challenge you today. I want you to really go on your demo drive. And rather than just tell you, hey, you got to do it, I'm going to see if I can sell you on some of the important reasons why it matters. Because there's a lot of energy against going on the demo drive, especially nowadays with COVID-19 going on, right? We've got social distancing going on, and a lot of times it's way easier not to go on your demo drive than to simply go with the customer. But there's a lot of reasons, regardless of today's special climate with the pandemic, there's a lot of reasons to go on the demo drive with the customer, and they haven't changed over the years. They're the same now as they were then. Let's talk about a few of the reasons why we don't go on the demo drive first. All right, so a lot of times we tell the manager, well, they didn't want me to go with them. And that may be true from time to time. There may be consumers out there that look at you and say, hey, do you have to go with us? And the reason for that is maybe they've been conditioned because other salespeople at other dealerships didn't go with them, right? Hey, and then sometimes we look around and say, well, the other salespeople didn't go. They're not going on the demo drive. And so if the other salespeople didn't go, why should I? And then, of course, hey, we just don't want to. Why don't we want to go on the demo drive? Here's why. Because if you go, that's work. If I put myself in a situation with a stranger that I don't necessarily want to relate to, and I close myself up in a car with them for 20 minutes, that's called work. In our business, relating to the guest and spending time with that person, that's the work that we do. And so if I can avoid work and still get the same result, well, why not, right? Let the customer go on the demo drive by themselves, and I'll just sit around the side of the building playing with my phone or contacting somebody else, or maybe going ahead and picking up my dry cleaning. Whatever it might be, a lot of times we avoid that work and we don't go on the demo drive. It's just that simple. You could boil it down to laziness, really. But what are the benefits of going on the demo drive? Why should you go? Well, think about this. There's these things called buying signs that we get, like a signal that comes from the customer. I know this because I go on demo drives, and when I'm there and the customers look at each other in the front seat and she says, oh, I really like this. Or he says, oh, this handles so well. Oh, feel that. Well, now this is neat. Every one of those gives me a zzz, zzz, like a little charge of electricity that happens. And if you've been in sales for any length of time, you know what I mean. When you get a buying signal, it gives you a little lift, a little shot of like sales adrenaline that confirms for you that you're on the right track. It reinforces for you that you're getting close to a sale. And when you get enough of that, zzz, you feel really confident in your sale and you start to build on it. I've noticed that salespeople that get just a little bit of buying signal from the customer, they tend to work sometimes twice, 3 times as hard as the other ones because they're building confidence. Now, if you're not on the demo drive, you can't get the zzz, right? Even if they're having that conversation and she says, oh, I love this car, and he's driving it and he says, wow, this is so much better than the one we have. Well, even if all that's going on, if you're not there to hear it, you don't get the zzz. And instead, while you're waiting back at the dealership for them to show up from this demo drive they're on by themselves, all the things that are creeping into your head are all things like doubt, self-doubt, self-pity, mystery, maybe even fear. See what I mean? And so what's happening is the opposite psychology is taking place for you. Instead of getting all these buying signals, getting pumped up and feeling like you can close these people and that they are literally licking the paint, you missed all that. And so the worst thoughts are going on for you back at the dealership while you're in a state of doubt and mystery. And remember this, when in doubt, doubt wins out. All right, so you want to go so you can get some buying signals. Also, controlling the experience. Sometimes customers go on a demo drive, and when they don't have somebody there to control the experience, they make wrong turns. They have bad experiences. In a little area where we sell cars in Davenport, Iowa, you can make a turn down a one-way, and it can be catastrophic to your demo experience. The other thing is, what happens if they get in the vehicle by themselves, and then 1 mile down the street, the walk light comes on, and the little yellow guy that looks like the AOL guy's on there, you know what I mean? Because it's saying walk. And now the customer has to worry. They have anxiety about, what kind of range they have, or when is this thing going to run out of gas? Maybe we should just go back right now, and so forth, right? So when you can control the experience, they have a better demonstration experience. Also, if you go on a pre-planned route, oftentimes you're only going to take right-hand turns. That ramp you're going to go onto the freeway is going to be a nice, steady ramp that's going to allow that vehicle to perform well so that you can get up to highway speeds. Maybe the road that you choose is the one that's been newly paved that avoids the construction and gives a real smooth riding experience all the way back to the dealership with only right-hand turns and the best experience that somebody can have. Combination of highway and city driving, right, without any traffic, without any kind of delays, something that's going to be easy for the customer to have a great driving experience with. But if you're not there to manage that experience, well, then they won't be turning in accordance with your instructions on that pre-planned route. For some of us that like to make some of their presentation off-site, park the car maybe in front of a church in a nice serene setting where it's cut out of the herd and away from all the other cars. Now you can go ahead and treat it very individually, make a presentation that hits on the features that are very important to the customer, not for a long time, but for just long enough maybe to switch drivers so that she drives and he drives so both of them can get the ether. See, there's a lot that goes into this when you're doing it right, accompanied with that experience under your control on a pre-planned route. Think about this. You're also in a position where you can build rapport and build value. Features about the product that the customer may not have thought about, and you can point those out on the demo drive. You can also relate to the guest. Maybe you'll build rapport. Maybe you'll find out something about them, their family, what's important to them during this conversation that is part of that demo drive experience. But if you're not there, you miss all of these benefits we've talked about. And here's the last point. When you're on the demo drive, at the end, you get to control the experience. Instead of the customer just parking the car out in front of the dealership, if you're really savvy, you may have learned how important it is to end the demo drive in the service area. That's right. When you're done driving the vehicle and you come back to the dealership, you got a unique opportunity now to sell not only you and the product, but the store. And how do you do that? Pull that car into the service drive, get out of the vehicle, and introduce the customer to the service department. Introduce them to a service advisor, maybe the service manager. Talk to them about their 3-year 36,000 mile or 5-year 60,000 mile or 100,000 mile service that comes automatically with the vehicle, the warranty protection that's going to back them up after the sale, roadside assistance that might be available, courtesy transportation, state-of-the-art facilities, waiting lounge. Maybe we've got complimentary donuts and coffee, Starbucks, whatever it might be. Courtesy transportation, rentals available, all the things that make your dealership special. Complimentary Wi-Fi, big screen TV, customer lounge, etc. All of those things can be showcased while the customer is walking through the service department back up to the sales area where they can then sit down at your desk. At no time did you ever have to say, hey, let's go inside. Because you see, you ended the demo drive inside. And now the customer is already inside, and so they simply walk through the service facility, getting a tour, learning about the 25,000 other customers just like them that decided to pick your dealership for their transportation and service needs in just the last 2 years. You see what I mean? You can build a lot of value at the end of the demo drive if you're there and if you end it in service. Now they go right down to the desk, and without anybody having to make a decision, with no pressure on them, they are now in the purchase position. We can offer a proposal and ask for their business 100% of the time because we controlled the experience. And that's the reason that I think you should go on the demo drive. And now you're thinking, okay, well, that makes sense, Neil. I shouldn't be lazy and I shouldn't take the easy way out. I should go. But gosh, how do I get myself on the demo drive in the first place? Here's how. Belong there. This is what I mean. You never ask somebody if they want to drive the car. Because if you do that, you're going to have a no every now and again, right? It's a yes-no question, so it's fair that half the time they're going to say, oh, no, we don't need to drive it. And there's a lot of reasons that they say that, but you don't have to worry about it, do you? If you just decide to move that car, we've had this in another segment, and you open the doors, you open the hood, you open the trunk, and you knock their socks off with a dynamite presentation, and you build a whole bunch of value in the product, and you say, hey, this is something I'm real proud of, and hey, did you know about this? And by the time you're done with your presentation, you see, the customer says, wow, here's a product expert, and they're proud of what they do and what they sell. And before you know it, you've got the customer in the driver's seat, and you just get in and close the door, and you belong there, you see. You've earned the right to be on this demo drive. The customer won't even look at you and say, oh, do you have to go with me? Because they think you belong there as part of the demo because it's natural. Look at all of the value you're adding. Listen to how much this person is showing me about this product. They won't even question it. They'll want you to be in the demo experience because you belong there. So first things first, be a part of the demonstration experience by first giving that customer a knockout, value-building product presentation demonstration. And then second, just assume it. Don't ask if it's okay if I go. Don't ask if you want a demo drive. Don't ask for any of this stuff. Just assume it. Pretend that the customer asked you, please take me on an accompanied pre-planned demonstration with a pre-planned route and please build value. Pretend they said that to you and just assume that this is what we're going to do. Behave that way and that's what will happen for you. So go on your demo. Remember, you go.